Welcome back from the break, team. And in this last segment of our discussion, we want to discuss something about responsible decision making. From the things we have discussed, you realize they need that decision, okay, for you to be able to choose. Just like you were, saying as teams, yeah, they were asking and you want to take a decision, and others are saying false, true, and you want to take a decision. And for us to be able to get away from the STIs, the sexually transmitted transmissions, there are critical decisions we must take, okay? And I want to give you a scenario, and I want to also call you to be able to share with us the kind of decisions you would think about and maybe take. And the scenario is, this is your friend, for example, who comes and tells you that he or she has some signs of sexually transmitted infections. It can be maybe candida or anything. I want to know what kind of decisions, what kind of the ideas would you give that friend of yours to be able to take up that decision that would call responsible. Okay? I just want you to imagine this is your friend now telling you, from the information we have just shared, someone is telling you, you know what, I'm feeling this and that. Every time I want to pass urine, I feel this strong pain, okay? And probably now you're there, you're the best friend, and they want this kind of advice from you, and they want to take up a decision. What decisions, for example, would you take from that particular scenario? Yes?
Advise them to seek medical help.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You advise them to seek medical help. Thank you very much. Because then that is so important. What they are saying, you might not be able to understand what they are saying, because then you're not a medic, you're not a medical person. But for you to be able to direct them where they can get help, that is very, very good. Yes?
To add on what my friend has shared, after seeking medical attention, they should always open up, because many young people out there, when they go to health facilities, they tend not to disclose everything that they're going through, as like the pain they're going through. Someone goes to the hospital and says, I feel pain in my stomach. But then when she knows that maybe she's bleeding or she has wounds, so we always have to be very open when we are seeking for medical attention, such that we can get treatment, actually, whereby we can get the exact treatment that we should get.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, quite often, someone goes to the health facility and they are being asked to describe how they are feeling, and you want to say, even when you're feeling pain in your private parts, but you want to say, my eye is itching, no? And then the other health worker is very, very confused, yeah? But it is very good that you open up, you tell them how you're feeling, and then they can be able to build on that history to be able to give you the treatment. Okay? Yes. Any other? Yeah? Yes? Yeah.
I think that's the best decision.
That's the best decision you're also buying. Okay. Maybe as we wind up, I also want to share with you the following decisions that are key. Yeah? The decision that is key, that would call responsible, is the decision that promotes health. Okay? As the starting point. Don't be fearful of what other people might think, what people might say, okay? But the most important thing is that you have your health first, and the rest of the other things can come faster. I mean later. You don't want to go how my friend's going to look at me while I'm going to get the treatment, but it is you. Yeah? You remember what they were saying, that if we don't get treatment, some of these infections might cause us things like infertility, okay? The other key factor is that we want to look at the decision that promotes safety. For example, now they are telling you, go at a certain health facility, but it is at night, okay? Yeah, sometimes you don't have to risk yourself. Yeah, look at the environment surrounding you. There are areas like, for example, in our communities, that there are areas that we know that are dangerous. Yeah? So for you to be able to penetrate those areas, you need to think critically before you take any action, so that you who wanted a health service don't end up into other risks, of either getting into thugs and they can do harmful things on your life. We also want to be sensitive about the laws of the country, okay? What decision you're taking, does it really match with the principles, okay, that the government has put, okay? We have seen very many young people, for example, take decisions of go and they want to say to abort, yeah? But what is the government saying in as far as that is concerned? What if then something happens? Now, how is the government going to defend that? So for each one of us to think about any decision in as far as STIs are concerned, we also think through the kind of principles and the roles the government has set, okay? The other responsible decision making should also be informed of respect. By respect, we are talking about the respect to your own self and the respect to others, okay? If you know you have gotten this STI from someone, maybe it could be a boyfriend or girlfriend, it is important that, yes, you get treatment, but you also be mindful of the other partner. Because then if you don't also help them to get treatment, I mean, then you have not helped, okay? Because they might remain in that darkness and the infection keeps spreading.
Yep.
And you know, in the cycle, you never know, you might also get it at some point in time, okay? So it is important to look at you yourself, self-respect, and also think about others, okay? By thinking about others, that yes, if I got this infection, do I have to go infecting others, for example? No, because then you want them to be like you, just in case you get treated and you're healed. The other one is about the rules of the game. The rules of the game now want to look at the home setting and the school setup. Yeah? Yes, you feel you want to go for a health worker for any guidance or information or treatment. Must you escape from home without informing your parents? Must you escape from school, for example, without seeking for permission? Because then they are going to know at some point that even when, yes, you wanted to get healed, but they are going to expel you. And then you won't have solved the problem. But it is important that people understand what you're going for, and then even when you get those services, then they are not bringing other side effects. And then finally, the other most important responsible decision should be informed of the good character. Okay? The good character in you. And the good character in you can mean very many things. Yeah? Very good character in terms of you're very, very informed and you're very responsible. You don't want to be that person who is known to be spreading the infection. Okay? And if then that is instilled in you, then we say that the decision you're taking is highly, highly, very responsible. Yeah, I really want to thank you for having been so good participants. And also urge you to every other time engage your colleagues. Yeah, there are always people, they are doctors, just like we said, nurses, counselors. Feel free to open up. Don't just sit on a problem, because then it ends up eating you. And when you open up and you want to share with either, it can be parents, it can be your brother, your sister, you never know who is there to help you. However, it is also important to be mindful of the person you want to share your problem with. Okay? Yeah. There are people who are not just there to solve problems, but rather escalating the problems. Okay? So look at the friends you're interacting with and see who can be of help. So when that is done, we can ably know that yes, we can deal with the issue of sexually transmitted infections. Thank you very much, and I wish you the best.
Thank you so much. So thank you very much, Dennis, for leading us in that thing. And I think young people, you are now well aware of what we need to do. And what we have said actually doesn't just apply to young people, but to all of us to have responsible decision making. And that those criteria that Dennis outlined for us apply to every one of us. Even young people out there in this time of COVID, you may be dealing with STI, you may be dealing with poverty, and you may need to set up a little garden somewhere to alleviate that poverty, which we have had is going to also reduce the risk of STI. So, and you're going to have a little garden or a little craft. One of us actually said they paint shoes. I think it was one of the other groups we were working with. That little project that is going to improve your self-esteem and enable you to say no to that guy who wants to give you money, which is going to cause an STD. These things can apply to all this. Responsible decision making can apply to not only decisions about health and STI, but also the decisions about your economics. So as we finish off, I would like to encourage young people here and even out there, somebody sitting in Kasangati, where I live and work from, somebody sitting in Karamoja, somebody sitting in Tororo, that we need to take responsible care of our own health. Young people, you're very important, you're very treasured, we believe in you, we rest, I mean, you're our future, so we need you healthy, we need you STI free, we need you HIV free, and those of you who have had HIV, we need you on ARVs. Please, we want you alive and well, and we are trusting that with this knowledge that we have empowered ourselves with, we'll be able to move forward and have less STIs in our lives. Thank you so much for all of you. Thank you everybody for listening, and thank you NTV, and thank you Straight Up Foundation and the Reproductive Health Uganda and the Sexual and Reproductive Rights Alliance. Thank you.